Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome again to another week of SFR. And once again, it's Monday night, which means it's GP4. You've got myself, Jimbo Mancy, and as ever, I'm joined by my co-commentator, that guy Sven. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, it's going fine. It's going fine. I'm feeling good.
Good.
How are you?
Yeah, all good, all good. Sort of haven't really moved from where I'm sat for the last week, to be fair. So the joys of obviously Britain being in lockdown amongst other countries at the moment. So how are things your end? Everyone coping okay?
Yeah, I think so. Sweden isn't really in a lockdown right now, but we're close to a lockdown. They're locking down city per city. So
yeah, it seems to be happening. So just on that, and I'm sure we'll touch on this a couple of times, to everyone watching, everyone who partakes in SFR from all around the world, and anyone watching from anywhere in the world, just make sure that you're following the guidelines. Stay safe, stay home, as you'll see the hashtag on our race title this week. So on to more positive news. Well, positive for one person especially, as we look at the championship standings going into Silverstone. We've done 9 rounds, and we currently have Senna Martins, who now leads the championship, and he's already pulling quite a healthy gap. Now this is down to winning the last 5 races in a row. Quite dominant, wouldn't you say, Sven?
Yeah. I don't know why he isn't GP3 yet, to be honest. But yeah,
I would imagine you're not the only person asking that question amongst the other 19 people.
He had a rough start to the season, but I guess he took the feedback well on how he was driving and made something out of it.
He definitely has. He's really picked up his game. So, as we go down the championship, we've got Senna leading on 154 points. In second place, 34 points behind on 120 is Brumi, who was leading the championship for the first sort of 5-6 rounds once Senna started to claw him back. In third, we've got Luke on 98 points, and in fourth, we've got X-Gamer on 75. So there's quite a gap from the top 2, but Senna looking very comfortable at the moment. Romsey is in 5th, he's on 74 points, so just 1 point behind his teammate X-Gamer. So a good showing for the Red Bull, their constructors, and we'll come on to that in a moment. We've got Mad G, who's picking up the pace now. He's in 6th, and he is on 63 points, and last week won on track in Austria, but due to a 3-second penalty, had to forego the win to his teammate. Probably quite gutting for him because he was showing some fantastic pace in the race. Next we've got DCG, he's on 62 points. As we go further down, we've got Shadow Britain, he's on 33 points. Then Psychomich on 31, and I know there's a little bit of a midfield battle going on with them too, so it'll be interesting to see how that pans out tonight. Pro Oliver is in 10th, he's on 26 points. We've got Topics in 11th, he's on 26 points as well. We've then got Xander in 12th on 22 points. James Hook in 13th on 14 points. Racing Podge on 13 points, ISRL Tommy on 12 points, Sonic Hawk on 11 points, with Giselodian our last point scorer so far in the championship. We've then got Energy Dan, Need for Speed, and Pelderagus, who will be looking to kickstart their championship today and score some points. What do you think, Sven? Do you think it's as good as championship over, or can someone break the momentum that Senna has? Will it be broken by a potential league switch? There's an array of things that can happen.
Yeah, I think it would be a good championship still. It's a lot of tracks left, and we have drivers like Brumi, Magi, we have X-Gamer, Romsey, and even Luke. I think they can beat him. So yeah. I definitely don't think it's over.
Well, I've done a few practice sessions with the GP4 guys, and Senna is up there. However, there are some people looking good, such as X-Gamer, Magi, you can never write off. Luke is always about, and obviously Brumi as well. So it's going to be an interesting race, but it's going to be very dependent on weather, which I've got coming to us in a moment. Obviously, we'll see what qualifying is going to be like the minute we start, but then I'll get the race. Whilst we're waiting for that, Sven, do you want to just take us through the constructor standings?
Definitely. In first place we have Renault. They're on 217 points, and behind them in 151. It's a big gap there. We have the McLaren, and third is Red Bull. Then we have Haas. Fifth is Alfa Romeo, starting to climb up there now, getting some good points lately. And we have the twin brothers Williams. They're not twins usually, but I like them. Oh, he left. That's not good.
Hopefully he's had a few invites and can get himself back in.
Yeah. Anyways, we have Racing Point then in 7th, Ferrari in 8th, Mercedes in 9th, and can you guess the team who's last?
Do I want to?
I don't think so. It's
No.
Toro Rosso.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
But they're in the same points as Mercedes, so...
okay, well, not so bad then.
Actually quite a good championship in the bottom 4. They're on 46 to 33 points, so
just to let you know,
down there.
We are dry on the conditions. So a dry quali, dry race, which gives us a nice segue to discuss strategies.
Yeah.
I'll pick you first, obviously. As ever, we don't like to give away too much.
Yeah, I think the tires doesn't lose so much power in this track, so soft medium is a good run. If you don't like that run, you can always go soft hards. But one thing I usually say you can do, I don't think you can this race. It's a two-stopper. I don't think it's good. It's such a long pit straight and it's such a slow speed here in 60 kilometers an hour. What is that, 40 miles
30,
an hour?
37 miles an hour.
Yeah, I was close at least.
So, yeah, not far off.
I'm gonna say the two-stopper. If you have a clean race, the two-stopper won't work here.
No, I think the only time that would come into play is obviously with safety cars.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
For me, mediums to softs is the fastest strategy, but obviously the risk of that is your qualifying position if you try to qualify on the mediums. Whereas had it been a wet quali and a dry race, obviously you can set the fastest time in the wet and then put yourself on the mediums and easily run the better strategy. But the softs seem pretty good around here. Not really a heavy track on tyres with the faster corners that we have, and a majority really of just quite long straights as well.
Yeah.
So a real easy track on the tyres. I've found myself softs to mediums to be the race strategy that I would go for, to give myself track position in qualifying from then onwards as well. But it's going to be an interesting one because obviously with safety cars we know that they can appear every 2 or 3 laps almost for 1 or 2 or 3 end plates. We're up to 3 now, aren't we, Sven? 3 end plates gets us a safety car.
Wasn't it 4?
Oh, maybe.
1 in Monaco, 1 in Canada, and 2 in Austria.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Or if
what
it was
happens.
1 in France, maybe.
Fingers crossed with having a dry run in the quali and a dry race, we can just get a full clean race with no safety cars and let these guys go for it from the off. One thing you will notice just while Shadow is on his hot lap, the first one out in quali sticks to his name. A lot of the British drivers will be running blue and white helmets tonight. Excuse me. That is just in a nod of respect to our NHS that we have over here in England, who are doing a fantastic job with the COVID-19 outbreak here. So a nice little touch from the drivers as we are racing at Silverstone in Britain. The British drivers have sort of all donned their cap, as it were.
Shadow's on a 29.5, and then we have DCG directly on the softs 28.0. It's a good time.
What do you think sort of quali times around here for the GP4 guys? We'll see you on sort of the front 2 rows.
If the faster guys are going on the soft tires, I think we will see something around the 27s.
Oh, as Broomy does it.
I think
with a 27.7.
Yeah, and that's just the first lap. So I think we'll see times maybe down to 27.2, 27.1.
So Energy Dan goes across the line with a 28.7. As we watch Romsey come round through club onto the start-finish straight. A real tricky last sector to the track. Car can get quite loose and sets a 1:27.6, so a fantastic lap time there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Senna Martins does a 1:28.2 on the mediums. Peldaragas has invalidated. Well, something that we haven't mentioned around here is invalidations. Quite a difficult track.
Man.
Yeah, you touch the outside as Zander goes across the line with a 28.9 on the mediums as well. So Copse Corner, yeah, one for the invalidations. Also, as you come through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, there's a real chance that you could cut the corner, hit the curb a little bit too much and pick up a warning there as well. So I do think that penalties will be something that we'll see come into play during the race today.
I think so. Not a bunch of them, but some penalties will come, I think. Because there's some places where it's quite rough on the judging to corner cutting, like this one that Senna is going through now. In the last sector, if you go too wide on that one, it could punish you quite hard, but you can also go quite wide on that one.
So as we watch Pro Oliver come into these last three corners of club, comes across the line and sets a 1:28.8 on the softs. Looks like he's done 2 laps there, so possibly invalidated the first one. So he'll be looking to get in and improve his time on another set of soft tyres, so he doesn't start the race on tyres that have done an additional lap. So obviously we had a quick conversation about it, Sven, just before we the guys got going in qualifying, but with the track, have you got a favourite part of the track at all, apart from the road out of here and on to Germany?
Yeah, in my opinion, it's not really my track. I like the straights where I don't have to do much. Yeah, I don't have a good feeling about this one. I haven't had. I even in GP3 was going to win this track, but then I got kicked out of the lobby when it was like 10 laps left, so not my favorite one, to be honest.
So it's left a bit of a sour taste in the mouth since then, really.
Yeah, and if I didn't disconnect that one, I didn't win the championship by one stressy point in the end.
So
how are you feeling about it?
Good. I absolutely loved Silverstone before I got a wheel, and obviously, it's almost a coming together between Luke and one of the Williams drivers there.
Shadow.
So Shadow on an out lap.
Yeah. Do you have to like this track as a British man?
I suppose you want to do well here. Obviously we have quite the mixture throughout all tiers of SFR. But yeah, it's always good to be quick and always good to like. I preferred Silverstone years ago, before it was changed. This first complex, which you go through Farm Curve, Village and the Loop, I'm not overly keen on. It just seems very out of sync with the rest of the circuit. The rest of the circuit can be quite fast and flowing as they come down the Wellington Straight here with Shadow. Sort of from here on out, I really like the track. But that first sector, apart from turns 1 and 2, they're quite fun when you get it right. They're not so fun when you can feel the car losing grip and stepping out from you.
It's not fun when it's raining. Then you can't go full throttle through the first 2 corners.
No, not at all. But no, I do like it, and yeah, it is obviously being a home track. It's the one that you want to do well in. As we've got Shadow come through Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel and onto the famous Hangar Straight, so probably one of your favourite parts of the track.
Yeah, I like this one.
And up into Stowe, and a really nice corner here where you can make up a lot of time. Now, it has been
That's
mentioned by
what
the
I was.
admins, that the
Yeah,
use of the runoff on the outside, if someone is deemed to be doing it far too much, obviously it will be looked at. Shadow crosses
good
the
lap.
line and goes to a 28.1, puts him in 6th.
That's what I was talking about earlier. It's easy to use too much there, but also if you get too comfortable, you can use absolutely too much and easily get a penalty.
So we jump on board with our championship leader, Senna Martins, who's on a hot lap on the softs. Comes
a
through
little bit
Cops.
of lift. Do we see anyone in GP4 do the full throttle through Cops?
Hopefully not at the start of the race, because when the car is full of fuel, it's not something that I'd want to be doing with the car. But
No.
Senna's gone 6 tenths up, so at the moment he's trending for a 27.6. As he comes into the last 3 corners now. Again, another sector where you can make a lot of time. Rides that curb on the left, which I wouldn't recommend doing, because the sausage curbs around there can be quite violent. Comes across the line and it doesn't really improve much further, which that last sector on the softs to the mediums is where you should be making the time.
Definitely, it's slow. You need more traction, so the softs are quite good there, but he hit the inner curb in the second to last corner, and it's a bumpy curb, so unsettles the car quite hard.
So we jump on board with your favourite man, Pelderagus, with his red helmet and the silver arrows. Yeah. And just quickly, we're looking to the YouTube chat, and we've got a few of the guys in there making some comments. Our very own Lee Carroll saying that his money is on Shadow, as he's been looking rapid around here. Can't deny that. He is very quick around here. Consistency and avoiding penalties is going to be key for him, and keeping a cool head as well, because it's very easy to get frustrated and wound up.
My man is going into the pits, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll jump on board. Oh, and Zander, just out of Cops, runs a little bit wide and does exactly what you mentioned. Clips the curb and invalidates a lap that he was almost 6 tenths up on.
Oh, we have Racing Porsche now, lap in 5th place. Right now going through Cops.
Racing Porsche, he's down by...
Let's see.
Just over
it's
10.
a little bit of upshift in the throttle. Let's see how he does it here.
Hopefully the Toro Rosso gets out of his way, coming through Maggots and Beckett's.
This is a quite good one here.
And he's still down a little bit on his time.
Yeah, he made up 1/10 though, so it can be an improvement if he sets this 3rd sector. Goes a little bit wide. Ooh, he lost a bit of time there. Yeah,
and
he's going in.
Binned that one off. Good plan.
It's slippery when you go too wide there, so. We also have Bruni on an in-lap, I think.
Yeah, I think he's coming in. We've got Romsey on an outlap who's sitting in 2nd place at the moment. He comes through Cops.
X-Gamer is going through the line right now.
And moves up to 15th with a 29.0. So he'll be looking for a big improvement on that.
Let's follow Romsey maybe and look what his lap looks like.
So as he now comes to start his lap. Someone here is going to pull out something like a 27.2 or a 27.3.
I think so.
At the moment, that could be what
goes
takes
up
pole.
to the 8th gear. It's quite rough around the first 2 corners if you go too high on the gears and up to 8th, because you don't really get the turn in, and when you're turning you get loose the acceleration you need for the 8th gear.
So some tips there from a man that runs manual gears.
Yeah, some people here are running the automatic Yimbo.
I am indeed. I've given it a go, and it will come, but I'm literally about a week and a day from having had my wheels. So
yeah, you're doing great, mate. It takes some time.
At my age,
we almost full throttle through Cops there.
At my age, you don't learn 2 or 3 things at once. You learn one thing and then you move on to the next, and they all take a little bit longer to do. So as we watch Romsey come onto the hanger straight, he is slightly up.
Oh, yeah.
300ths.
He needs 300ths more to get the provisional pole.
He does. Senna still has a lap left.
It's a little bit wide
really
there.
Wide out of there, but gets away with it.
Oh,
Rides the curb and invalidates. Yep,
yeah.
that's the problem with that curb. For me, there's no point getting that close to it. But that
lost time there too.
is going to be the end of his qualifying as well, because
Definitely.
he is not going to get back and set another lap. So an opportunity now for those behind him. Pro Oliver's snuck himself into 3rd during all of this. If we look down the order as well, we've got Broomy 4th, DCG 5th, Podge in 6th, with Topics 8th, Shadow, who's now going out on his final run in, as I said, 8th. Energy Dan is out. He's invalidated. So he's slowing
Look
up.
at Alfa Romeo, they're doing really good right now with Topics and DCG.
Yeah. So DCG's qualifying is done. He's now coming back into the pits, so he's not going to be getting back out and around in time. So it's down to DCG to carry the Alfa Romeo flag.
Energy Dan is letting people by when he's out in the gravel.
See Romsey going off track. I think he's more through anger at himself for stuffing his lap there. We've got Mad G on an outlap, so we've got a majority of the field on outlaps, as you can see at the moment.
Yeah, we have Michael Schumacher on a lap, I think. Pelderagis.
Pelderagis. So you've managed to... Is this what you've been doing with your time off?
Yeah.
He's out wide, but he hasn't invalidated.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's still on it. Yeah, I've been eating ice cream, drinking some beer, and trying to learn his name.
And that lap has got away from him there.
I think so, yeah. 1.5 up. That's...
So Shadow starts his flying lap. The guy
Let's
that
follow.
people are touting for the win. Oh, he's got an Alfa Romeo coming out of him. Going in. Oh, and he's been held up by Topics going into turn 3.
That's not good.
Oh, that's not going to have helped.
Topics is trying to get past him, but Topics won't make it around, so I don't know what he's trying to do right now.
No, strange strategy there, and that will be one for the stewards to look at once the race is finished. Oh, he's invalidated. He's cut far too much going up into Cops through Woodcote is the corner. So
I'm gonna follow Racing Post here to see what my Ferrari brother can do.
So if we look at Senna, he's 0.6 up.
Yeah, that's
he can't be. No, he's just started his lap, so
yeah,
not sure what the graphic was showing me there, but let's stick on boards with Senna. He's the man to beat at the moment.
And he's small margin up.
He's up by 400ths at the first sector.
Yeah, the place for him to find some time right now is the last sector.
Yeah, Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, I've noticed, like myself, going through there, that if you nail it and get it right, all of a sudden your delta is, you're up 2 tenths. Bit untidy through Stowe, didn't really use the full width of the track. Comes through Maggots, Beckett's, uses a bit of the curb. Good run out of Chapel onto the hanger straight, again up by just 200ths.
Let's see if he can avoid that inner curb.
As Podge goes into second.
Hey!
With a 27.6.
That's good.
So the man that was leading in Austria for the first few laps showing consistent form.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't hit the curb right now. Let's see here. He's going to be like 2-3 tenths up now.
Yep, a 27.1. Found half a second almost in that final sector. And that is pole position. There's a McLaren
Didn't I say
on the track.
27.1?
You did you?
Yeah, I think I did. I think it's the first time I'm right about something.
And that It's qualifying.
Look at the timings between 3rd and 5th place.
Yeah, I was just having a quick flick through that. So we've got even from 2nd to 6th, or even 2nd to 7th, is 3 temps.
Yeah, it's close.
So that's qualifying. Sven, as ever, once the order comes up, if you want to run us through. I'm just going to have a quick drink because I have a dry throat and it isn't what I think it is.
Yeah, so in pole position we have Senna Martins on a 27.1, and then we have Luke in 2nd on the soft. He's not doing his hard strategy this time. The Super Swede, Racing Porsche in 3rd, Pro Oliver in 4th, Romsey 5th, and in 6th we have Brumi and DCG in 7th. Maggi in 8th, Topics in 9th, and finishing off top 10 is Shadow Britain. Energy Dan is following up with an 11th place. Pelderagis, aka Michael Schumacher, is 12th. X-Gamer 13th. And then we have Sonic Hawk in 14th. Psychomich 15th. And then I didn't really pull off the rest of the field, but we will get that later.
Okay, back. So, cloudy conditions for the race. Guys will be pleased with that because that'll give them a clear view of any braking points going into some corners. There is a light condition around here that makes turn 2 and turn 3 almost blind. And then I believe it's as you come up to Cops as well, the sun is glaring right in your eyes. So they'll be happy that they haven't got them conditions.
It's the same in Austria, in my opinion. The first corner in Austria.
Oh, turn 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really hard to get your braking point, especially if you use the track guide going into that turn, because you don't see the colour change at all.
No, you don't. You barely see the.
You see it when turn 1 is coming far too quickly, and you realise that you've missed it.
Yeah.
So the formation lap begins. The cars
and I'm gonna continue
disappear and then come back again.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue with the starting order because I only got to Psychomich in 15th.
Yeah, go for it.
So in the finishing 5 positions we have Sander, James Hook, Tommy in 18th, Need for Speed in 19th, and then we have Giselodian in 20th with a Haas. So predictions. We want predictions in the chat, and I also want to hear your predictions, Jimmy.
Without a safety car, I'm going to go for Senna, because you just got to look at his qualifying time was 0.3 of a second up on his nearest competitor. He's in the perfect position for a clear run through turns 1, 2 and 3. What happens behind him will obviously depend on what happens with the race. Will we see a safety car early on? I hope not. I hope the guys 10 races into the season have come to grips, as it were, almost with respect and room, and the fact that a race cannot be won and will not be won on the first lap. The surprise for me, or the disappointment I suppose, is X-Gamer. He's been looking really quick, pushing the pace. Even in practice races, he's been battling with me. Not to say that I'm the quickest person in the world, but to see that kind of pace from a GP4 driver, you would have expected to see them at the front. Maybe a little bit thrown off by his PlayStation crashing him out just as qualifying started, but it's a long race. If we sort of... My race last week in Austria was quite eventful. I qualified 12th. I went back to last. I lost a wing, pitted, lost another wing, pitted, but still came 6th. And I was literally on the verge of going into the pits and retiring. So it goes to show that you should really never give up. A couple of safety cars can soon change things, and you know, if your race pace is good enough, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got a couple of people saying Tom for the win. Ekelund is saying Romsey is fast. He definitely is. Just put the tyres up there for Oliver, who's watching. What about you, Sven? Who are you predicting?
I mean, we've seen Luke doing quite good in a couple of races right now, and I think he wants to win a race.
Yeah.
So my guess goes to either Luke or I think Racing Porsche can do well tonight. Had
So-
some unfortunate spins in Austria, but
The
he
cars are
showed
lined
good
up.
pace.
Green flags are waving, so we wait for the lights. Here they come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we are off for the British Grand Prix of Silverstone as Luke absolutely bogs the start,
Yeah.
which puts Podge straight up into second. He's dropped right down to 6th. There's people
and
running
he-
off and
Romsey
wide
goes
all through
wide.
turn 1. There's bits of car flying everywhere, but all cars are still on track.
Yeah,
Just
Maggi
watched the
made
main pack.
an incredible start from 9th to 5th.
He has, yeah. DCG's the one who's gone backwards. X-Gamer up into 10th, Shadow into 9th. And they're still battling at the back here as we go back to the front. So Senna already has 0.6 over Podge. And the guys come up through Woodcote. On board with Mad G as he comes into Cops, and really easy first time through there. Pelderagis makes a move on X-Gamer going into Maggots. Brave move that. He's got it done.
Yeah,
Oh, he's run wide out of Chapel as X-Gamer comes right up behind him. Possibly a little nudge there. X-Gamer on the medium, so he'll not be wanting to lose too much time. Coming up to here as he outbrakes Pelderagis into Stowe, hugs the inside line, and oh, it's all coming together as a Toro Rosso behind with Sonic Hawk.
it's great fighting right there. Leaving space.
Oh, they touch,
Just as I say it.
and
The commentator curse.
oh, X-Gamer touches Sonic Hawk and puts him into the gravel. All a bit tight going into there, and that has caused an incident behind.
Yeah, definitely. Made some breathing space with GCG to try to catch up.
ISRL Tommy's been given a 10-second penalty for exceeding track limits.
That's quite
He's
rough.
got wing damage as well. Sonic hasn't got any damage, so he's got away with that.
Yeah, and Pro Oliver putting out the fastest first sector too. Pro Oliver is showing good pace. At the same time, Senna has broken the DRS from Racing Porsche.
Yeah, and also if we look at Mad G, he's made 4 places off the start. He's got himself
Broom is
up
following up there.
into 4.
I was going to talk about that today, because Broomy is not that far behind in the championship behind Senna, but we barely see Broomy in the races. He's just being there, making the points necessary.
Yeah, he
for
comes
the
on
team.
strong at the end as we've lost to Toro Rosso. Looks like Xander's gone off through Chapel.
No.
Oh, no, it's into Beckett's he's gone off.
Yeah. We had Tommy there losing another part of the front wing.
So Pro Oliver sets the fastest lap of the race with a 31.7.
Yeah, he want to win this one.
And DRS is enabled, and just as the DRS is enabled, Senna pulls out 1.1 seconds.
Oh, it's not a good opener for Tommy right now. 5-second penalty for the speeding in
No,
the pits.
15 seconds of penalties already, and he's retired from the race
Yeah.
in the pits. As we've lost to Toro Rosso again.
Oh no, it's Sonic Hawk.
He's back
Yeah,
on
he
the
lost
track,
some
but he has
end plates right there.
yeah, he has damage. So Senna has the gap up now to 1.5 seconds.
Topics made a move on Broomy.
He has. So the gap comes down to 1.2, so Podge has pulled a couple of tenths back there.
And they've broken the DRS too.
He has, yeah. Actually, at the
My
moment,
stream died right now, it's back up now.
unfortunately, at the moment, the top 5 have all broken the DRS on one another. So it's going to be a case of sheer race pace to to pull yourself back up.
Yeah. DCG made 2 places for 1 lap. That's good.
Yeah, Luke, the big loser there off the start. He's lost 8 places, so he'll be gutted with the result there. We'll flick it back onto the tyres now that we've seen the moves made. Broomy within the DRS of Topics just. The gap back up to 1.5 seconds at the front. And we've got Energy Dan in the pits with Sonic Hawk as well. As Energy Dan goes onto the hard, so he's picked up some damage somewhere. So Shadow with Luke for company, but he's also got DCG just in front of him as they go through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. Oh, and Romsey gets it really wrong through there, and there's a coming together between Romsey, and that is going to be a safety car. Is it going to be a safety car? A virtual safety car. Ah, so they came together, but there's damage for DCG, yeah.
Giving the spot back.
Okay, well all of that has put James Hook up into 11th, whilst I'm not sure what's going on between Shadow and Luke, saying that they're changing positions with a virtual safety car out at the moment.
Yeah, and we have Luke into the pits.
Yeah, interesting strategy. So he'll be going on to the hards, yeah. He's got to use them every race, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has to. It's probably his favourite tyre. I think it's a part of him, his DNA right now.
Yeah, so if we go back to Mad G, must have had a really bad virtual safety car or made a mistake, because he's now got Topics all over the back of him, who's got Broomy all over the back of him, and Shadow will be looking to join that party as well, just 1.1 seconds behind. Oh, Topics gets it quite wide coming out of Luffield. Up at the front, Senna holds a comfortable 1.5 seconds over Podge. Pro Oliver just inside the DRS as well, so a good show from Pro Oliver. We haven't really seen this since China, have we?
No, Magi is quite a sitting duck right now. 2.5 seconds up to Pro Oliver, but he's having 2 people with DRS behind him.
So we jump on board with Topics, who's got the DRS.
Topics isn't opening his DRS.
Ah, so does he have...
That's a great move.
That was a fantastic move.
Yeah.
Magi's not going to settle with that as he comes back up the inside. Does Topics hold it around the outside? He does, and it looks like Topics has got that one done. Great move. Great battling as well.
And that's without the DRS
some serious pace as well. Oh! Into turn 1. That's not where you want to be tapping someone. Topics gets it wrong going into 3. Pulls it back.
This slow, slippery
Magi a little bit wide out on the curbs there.
Let's see if he opens his DRS. No, he doesn't.
No, so it looks like Topics is having some DRS problems at the moment. Broomy's dropped back a little bit, but this all the time is bringing Shadow closer, who's now half a second off. 1.1 seconds last lap. He's pulled in 6/10 in 1 lap. Fantastic stuff. Back at the front, Senna 1.2 seconds over Podge. Pro Oliver just 1.1 seconds behind as well. So the gap really, the top 3 have got away. It's then Mad G back to Broomy, Shadow, Topics, Broomy and Shadow.
Ooh, Broomy goes wide. That's a warning really right there. Oh, Mad G spinning, and he hits Broomy.
Oh, wow. So Mad G out, takes Broomy out.
Yeah, he lost his rear and just spun into the magazine.
He's managed to get away with no damage, has Mad G. So he's dropped to 7th. X-Gamer up into 6th. But that now leaves Topics and Shadow, and the incident there has caused a little bit of a gap between Topics and Shadow. However,
yeah,
Shadow's bringing that gap down.
Racing Porsche is keeping with Senna. This 1 to 1.5 second has been all race long.
Yeah, Energy Dan picks up a 3-second penalty. Romsey as well, they'll just believe picked up a penalty as well. That will be for cut in turn 1. Pro Oliver starting to reel in Podge. 0.7.
Yeah.
Now, and the gap up from Senna to Podge back to 1.4, flickering between 1.3 and 1.4. Looks like Senna is conserving on the straights almost, because the gap comes down as they both go incredibly wide through Copse. That is not the line to take. So the one to watch out for me now is X Gamer. He's on the mediums. He's up into 6th. And them softs at the end of the race are so much faster than the mediums, and they seem to maintain the speed as well. So Mad G with Peldaragas behind him now, and James Hook in 9th, who just picked up a 3-second penalty as well. Romsey having a really difficult race. The coming together with DCG has set him back. Shadow seems to have made a mistake as he's now 2.3 behind Topics. Maybe cooked them tyres up a little bit, pulling the gap in previously before the incident that Mad G had. Luke sets the fastest lap of the race on the hards. Interesting. Ooh. Because they only get quicker as we look at Pro Oliver right on the back now of Podge, 3 temps. So he'll be looking through the next DRS sector. The only thing is, through Copse, Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, really difficult to stick close to someone and then get in the DRS.
Yeah, I think the first straight is the best one to overtake in my opinion. Is it the first straight? Is that
the Wellington straight?
Wellington, yeah. Wellington straight.
So we jump on board.
Here you see now it is 6 tenths behind instead.
Yeah. Senna still only 1.5 ahead of Podge as well, so really Pro Oliver and Podge don't want to get themselves into too much of a battle.
Yellow in sector 2, it's the Mercedes of Peldaragas.
Yeah, looks like he's
Nothing
dropped
major.
off the back, so James Hook up into 8th and only 1.6 behind Mad G as well. So we just jump back on with our race leader, Senna, who's now 1.5. We've got Romsey in the pits as well. Senna comes through Brooklands and into Luffield, and Podge now 1.6 behind. Pro Oliver must have made a big mistake because he's got to 2.2. But the race seems to have settled down now. There are some nice gaps between the guys to reduce the risks of any safety cars.
Racing
Podge picks a 3-second penalty as well, so one of the front 3. The first to buckle is Podge under the penalties. So we go further down the field. We've got Need for Speed has dropped out of the session. He had DNF'd anyway. Oh, so he's actually just left the session. So we've got Luke all over the back of Cycle.
Porsche is going for the pits. Oh, Racing Porsche went to the pit, so Pro Oliver was trying to be reactive, so he spun on the grass.
Oh, so Pro Oliver.
Yeah, he was trying to go for the pits to be reactive to Racing Porsche. But
Shadow is now going to take the lead of the race, staying out for another lap on the softs, and in all honesty, I think that's a really good strategy.
That's Pro Oliver losing a lot of places right now.
Yeah, the winner here though has got to be X Gamer, with everyone going into the pits and Pro Oliver having his incident, as we've got DCG off, and that is a big off.
Oh, Maggots and Beckett's.
So we'll just jump on board with Sonic to see if we can see the stricken Alfa Romeo.
Yeah,
Not from
it's
that angle,
out to the right from the last right-hander.
Looks like he's at, yeah, the car's gone, so no safety cars. Shadow will be absolutely...
Oh,
he
spinning!
spins!
No!
Oh, and he loses an end plate as well. Oh no.
Now X-Gamer is in the lead with the mediums.
He is, with 3.5 seconds over Mad G as well. Okay, so a difficult one there for Shadow, but we are only 10 laps into a 26 lap race. Very surprised at the early pit stops on the softs, but then when you see Shadow spin like that, maybe it was the right thing to do. Oh, as Pro Oliver spun as well, again.
Not again.
Just as he comes round to go into the pits as well, so another spin just before the pits. Shadow comes into the pits all the time. Senna Martins is out on the mediums. Podge 1.4 seconds behind him, so Podge hasn't lost any time during the pit stops in the outlap. And as your brother has said in the chat, Podge is looking fast as Romsey sets the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, it's looking really good today.
Senna coming up to the back of Zander, who's on much older medium tyres. Senna will be looking to get past nice and quick. Mad G continues on the soft tyres, and he's not really lost any time to X-Gamer. Even on softs that everyone else seems to be struggling on, he's the guy that's gone the longest. Now is Senna going to get Zander down the DRS straight? That's going to be a big ask going into Stowe.
I don't think he will.
Too far off there.
This is good for racing, Porsche.
It is, but he's dropped to 1.8 behind. The person, if you look in 6th on the hards, is Luke. So he's coming back up from a bogged start. Mad G is in the pits now. So the guys will jump Mad G. Oh!
A little bit of lag spike there from
yeah.
Zander.
Senna goes for the move. Looks like Zander's gonna let him take that one. Clever move there by Zander, and very, very good driving etiquette. He knows his race isn't with
definitely.
Senna. So Senna, 11.5 seconds behind X-Gamer, who is gonna have to stop again. Podge now comes up to the back of Zander as well. Luke has jumped topics with everything that's gone on. So he's up into 5th. Okay, so the person really losing out on the pit stops, looks like it was Mad G, as he's now 5 seconds behind James Hook.
Yeah, I think he stayed out too long on the
maybe a lap
softs, and he also had
long.
his spin there.
So James Hook in 9th at the moment. He'll be very pleased with that current position. He's done his stop, so he's on till the end now.
Senna is putting on the fastest sector 2.
As Podge gets past Zander, going into Stowe, and he's only 1.6 behind Senna as well, but he does have a 3-second penalty. The gap to X-Gamer, Senna has pulled that down by 2 seconds almost in 1 lap.
Yeah, that's 10 laps fresher mediums right there.
Yeah. Oh, he's taken absolute chunks out of that gap. 9.6. And you just can watch it just come down. 9.5, 9.4. Wow. So I think Senna at the start of the race, not pulling that gap over Podge so quickly, was conserving fuel and DRS. Now is absolutely going for it.
I think so. He wants to win this one to make it 6 in a row.
He does, but I wonder what that does with the decision of certain admins within leagues. Oh, as he takes a real chunk of grass going into Cops. And that's going to have slowed him up as well, but X-Gamer, he's now reserving the RS, or harvesting as we call it, but it's cost him 3 seconds in 2 laps.
Yeah, losing quite a lot of time right now.
He is. So after his spin and a bit of wing damage, Shadow did change his wing in the pits. He's dropped back down to 12th. He's only 5.5 seconds behind Pelderagus, who is 2.7 behind Mad G. Mad G's pulled 6 tenths back in on James Hook as well. However, James Hook only 1.5 seconds behind Romsey. Topic sets the fastest lap of the race with a 30.9 on the mediums. That's a solid lap. And he's right behind Luke. So these guys are going for it. Does he make the move? Oh, he gets that horribly wrong. That's the only way I can explain that one. He should have the better run out of here on fresh mediums. So down the DRS straight as we jump on board. Topics. Oh, lunges on the brakes.
Yeah.
Going into Brooklyn. Takes the line into Luffield. And it looks like that's the move done.
I think so. Solid move. He comes back now, Luke.
Yeah, Topics doesn't seem to have any straight line speed whatsoever. If you think back to when he was in Mad G, I know he had no DRS, but he just seems to be losing time down the straights. This is that really difficult bit to follow. Another car closely through, but Topics does a great job through there.
He has DRS right now, though.
Yep, and it is open now, so it looks like his DRS is working. But as you can see, still not really making a dent in Luke's advantage.
No, it doesn't even move.
So as we flick back to the front, X-Gamer still going on their mediums. He'll be pitting soon, probably this lap or next. I would imagine if things carry on as they are, Senna is going to have him very close before he pits. And with the length of the pit stop here, there is no way them soft tyres will be bringing X-Gamer back into a battle with Senna.
No, I don't think so. I think this race comes down to if Senna gets a penalty or not with Racing Porsche, but Luke has a good chance for the 3rd place if X-Gamer doesn't show speed in the softs.
Yeah, the one struggling seems to be Broomy, who second in the championship. Another bad race here. He's not scoring points at the moment.
Oh, he had some bad luck recently with accidents.
So the gap down to 6.2 seconds now. Podge keeping Senna in check as Zander picks up a 3-second penalty for running wide at Cops. Really good race here from Podge.
Yeah.
Really difficult start to the season, I think.
Oh, Luke lost the car.
Oh, he has. He's gone off. And James Hook runs very wide through Cops, but he is all over the back of Psychomich and Romsey. James Hook, oh, too close through there, way too close. You've got to have patience.
Romsey will get a good run on Psychomich right now.
Yep, he's got the move done.
Will James Hook also try?
I don't think so. I'd hope not anyway, because that's a big ask going into there. But James Hook looks really good at the moment. Let's hope he can keep it clean and stay patient.
Oh,
no! And as I say that,
the throttle.
are coming together.
Just goes enough for Maggie to avoid that one too.
Right, I need to stop putting the camera on Williams drivers who are doing well. Because that's twice now. So Zander has pitted and gone onto the softs. So he'll be looking to pull in the 2.2 second gap to Mad G.
I think it's time for X-Gamer to go in right now.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still out. I think this is the lap now. He's got to come in, especially with limited laps left to actually make an impact off the soft tyres as well.
He's really pushing it right now. He's 1/10 down on his fastest lap right now.
Yeah, Podge has dropped back off of Senna now to the sound of 3.6 seconds, with the Topics a further 3.8 back. Zander is going to be the one to watch. I think there's a chance here that he could possibly pick off Mad G for sure.
We will see X-Gamer out in 5th place behind Luke.
Yep, so he's pitted now. So X-Gamer comes into the pits. Podge is already past, so that's X-Gamer down to 3rd. Topics now goes past. Luke now goes past as well. X-Gamer just coming out of the pits. He's going to come out in front of his teammate. It's going to be close. That pit lane just goes on forever, doesn't it? So Romsey now comes down the start-finish straight, and he's got him. No, that is really close. Oh, X-Gamer comes out just in front of his teammate on the soft tyre, so no need for team orders and letting the guy on the faster tyres go. Shadow picks up a 3-second penalty, but if we now look at... Oh, we've got a yellow in Sector 1, and we've lost the Williams. James Hook has gone off in Sector 1, and is that going to bring out a safety? It has! We have a safety. 9 laps to go.
Perfect timing for X-Gamer, I think, in my opinion.
Absolutely. So X-Gamer here will be rubbing his hands together. Absolutely gutted for James Hook, was having such a great race until that incident through the last 3 corners. Now
the question is, will Senna pit and will Racing Porsche follow, or will anyone stay out right now?
Well, the Delta at the moment brings Senna out in front of X-Gamer. Yep, so Senna goes in. So the question is, who stays out? Does Luke stay out on the hards? Nope, he's coming in as well. So yet again,
Topics is out.
Topics has stayed out on the mediums. I think that's a bold move.
Yeah, I think so.
What X-Gamer needs to do here is he needs to get past Senna, but I don't think it's going to happen with the Delta. Nope, Senna's got away with this one because the guys are still under the Delta.
This is perfect timing for me also. The safety car, just some fresh spaghetti carbonara.
Oh wow, okay. So
yeah.
Living the dream there.
Living the dream.
I've got a bottle of Coke Zero and a bag of Galaxy buttons if... yeah, hang about for dessert, guys, because it's going to get wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so... looks like this has worked massively. I've just had... He'll be delighted to know that I've actually read that. But I've just had our very own Lee Carroll let me know that he set exactly the same time as me in the time trial at Silverstone, to the thousandths of second. Brilliant. What should we say? He's like a rash. Just can't get rid of him.
Definitely not.
Obviously he wanted to come back in China and teach me a lesson. That didn't work. He wanted to do the same in Austria. That didn't work. So I'm 2-0 up at the moment.
Yeah.
So what do we think? Pal. What do we think on the restart?
I think Topics will get swallowed by the soft runners, and we will see a fight between X-Gamer and Senna. If X-Gamer can prove he has some speed.
I think it's how quick they can get past Topics, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
You got Zander, who's also on fresh tyres. We could have a top 3 here of Senna, X-Gamer and Zander, but then you've also got Podge on fresh softs with Luke on fresh softs as well. So This has all brought Shadow up into 8th. The only issue for Shadow is he has Mad G on fresh softs in 10th.
Yeah,
So,
I think the real loser in this pit stop was Racing Porsche.
yeah, well, I think for Podge,
He
yeah,
had a solid second place.
Yeah, he did have a solid second place.
Quite down there.
Yeah, Electro Dan in the chat saying that Romsey's made a mistake, and I think he's bang on there. 10 lap old mediums against guys on fresh softs around here. You are literally just going to get chewed up at the start. Interesting battle for me. You'll have Pelderargus and Mad G both on 1 lap old softs. With Pro Oliver and Shadow on 8 lap old mediums in front of them. So them two are going to be going at it with 2 guys on soft tyres wanting to come through quickly as well.
And that's for the points too.
Yeah, from sort of 11th up to 8th. So all I can see happening is Shadow and Prolover just creating a bit of a gap to Luke for Mad G and Pelderargus, so when they do get past, if they do get past, there might not be enough time left for them guys to pull that in.
And we have 1 more lap of safety car.
Yeah, another lap. I was just about to say, surely it's time for that to come in.
Oh, it's going in.
Okay, so it is in this lap. We've missed the message at the bottom there, but we watched the restart. Topics goes for it, but Senna is going to be right behind him through here with the better tyres. And Senna is going to get the run going into turn 1. As he thinks better of it.
He's going to go for it there.
This is where X-Gamer needs to pounce. If he wants to make Senna work for this win, X-Gamer needs to be all over the back of Senna to make a move the minute Senna gets it wrong against Topics or has to lay off.
Definitely.
Senna tries to go round the outside. That one's not going to work. And yet again, X-Gamer just a little bit too far back.
Yeah, we had a clean restart otherwise. Oh, Racing Porsche went wide, lost a couple of places right now.
Oh no, so that's him down to 10th. Mad G gets Pro Oliver in all of that up to 8th. Mad G's going to be looking good on them soft tyres there.
Now Racing Porsche going for Pro Oliver. And he lost the car, no, that's not good. And he hits Broomy.
Oh, and Podge is out.
Yeah. And that's
we have a virtual safety
accident.
car.
Or was it Psychomich maybe? Yeah, he hit Psychomich on the way back to the track there.
So if we just look at the positions changed again quickly, we've got Xander who's up 11 places, we've got X-Gamer up 10, Topics is up 8 at the moment. That could change before the end of the race with the guys on softs behind him, but as Romsey picks up a 3-second time penalty, and the worst time to pick up a penalty is when there's been a safety car a few laps from the end, because the field is never going to get the opportunity to spread out, and I've just decided that we're not going to see any form of detail. So we've got the virtual safety car finishes, we go green. And there we go. I just wanted to get it back to what tyres they had on.
Trying a move on Romsey.
Yeah, if we watch Senna now as he comes through Woodcote up into Copse. Very, very close through there. X-Gamer again, 9/10 off of Senna on the same tyre, albeit a lap older. He's not really taking advantage of them soft tyres at the moment.
No, Maybe he's waiting for the DRS to start.
Electro Dan saying in the chat he feels for Podge, and I think you've got to. The guy was showing great race pace before the original safety car, which kind of shot him back into the pack.
It was the same last week. He was showing some really good pace, and then he had some unlucky spins.
So it looks like, so we've got DRS enabled, so this is going to give Senna the chance to make the move. The worrying thing here for Senna is through these fast corners with Topics in front of him on 12 lap old mediums is that he pushes to stay in front and loses the car and collects Senna. We've already seen it happen to a few people, but this is now where Senna's going to get the move done. Topics goes defensive on the inside, Senna comes to the outside as they come down into Brooklands. Looks like, oh, late on the brakes from Topics there. Very strong battle in there.
Yeah, I think it's a good defending right there. He's showing he doesn't give up.
Tough place to get the move done around the outside. It looks like X Gamer is just struggling for pace.
Yeah.
Has he used everything up coming through the field? Has he used his fuel? Has he used his ERS?
Yeah, that's a good question actually. I know the answer for the ERS, but I'm not going to share it in case of some people watching the stream.
That shouldn't be, yeah. Not GP4 drivers right now anyway.
Hopefully not.
So
can we see a move right here on Senna?
Senna comes out. It looks like he's got this one done. Going into Stowe. Yeah, Topics has said to let that one go. So Senna takes the lead. And that will probably be the last of what we see of Senna. Is Topics going to hold on? It looks like he's got the pace over X Gamer to hold on and take second place. Senna sets the fastest lap of the race with a 30.3. Oh, Topics picks up a bit of grass through too, and that can really get the car moving. Yeah, got to agree with Electro Dan again. Topics is doing fantastic to hold on with the medium tyres. But Senna now 0.7 in front. Take a look further down the field. We've got the two Red Bulls in third and fourth, so a good strong finish for the team there. But they'll have been looking to get higher positions. The issue is Romsey has got Luke all over the back of him on fresh soft tyres now. And just a little bit further down we've got Mad G who's closing in on Shadow, so the battle for 7th position.
Yeah, X Gamer doesn't even pull some gap from his teammate on 14.
Oh, Topics picks up a 3-second time penalty. So that could give X Gamer the jump on him. I don't remember X Gamer picking up a penalty. We'll not check and leave it as we do. Sonic picks up a 3-second penalty. I'm just going to stick on board with Mad G at the moment as he's closing in on Shadow. Oh, as Luke gets Romsey, Romsey gets Luke back, and there's been an accident there.
Yeah.
Luke has gone and he's fallen all the way back down. However, this has put Shadow right on the back of Romsey now. And Shadow with slightly fresher mediums as well. Is he going to be patient for the move? Oh, he looked at the inside in turn 1, which I think is crazy, but that's a matter of opinion as Psychomich picks up a 3-second time penalty as well.
We also have my man Pelderagis on the points right now.
Jump on board with Mad G, who's right up behind Shadow. DRS open for both of them, so that's going to make passing difficult for Mad G. As you can see, he's losing a little bit of ground going into Brooklyn. Shadow is really going to want to get Romsey and pinch a top 5 finish here. But I think the issue for Shadow is penalties again. I've not seen Mad G pick up a penalty.
No, I don't think so.
So I think Mad G here could jump the both of them, because I know Romsey's got penalties as well. Back on board with Mad G through Maggots, Beckett's and into Chapel. Again showing how difficult it is to follow cars through that section, but it looks like Shadow could get the move on Romsey here. He's got the DRS open. Can he get it done cleanly? He's got the pass done, so it should be easy from here on out. He still runs it quite wide through Stowe, but that's the move done. Now Mad G's going to be looking at trying to get past Romsey. He gets held up going through Club. I do love a little bit of onboard action.
Yeah.
Everything looks really smooth from the outside, doesn't it? And then you look on board and you see the guys fighting the wheel. And yeah, back at the front we've got Senna now 1.7 over Topics. X-Gamer 2 seconds behind.
Xander is closing in.
Yeah, Xander's
X-Gamer right now.
So if Xander can keep it together, is there a potential podium for Toro Rosso?
Could be.
We've got Sonic in 11th. He's 3.2 off Peldaragas though. So we've got Maggi, Romsey and Shadow. Shadow seems to be getting the break on Romsey. He is on a couple of lap pressure medium, so that's going to be helping him now. But the question is penalties at the end of the race. As Pro Oliver picks up a 3-second penalty. And Xander gets the move done on X-Gamer. Runs it wide through Stowe. Oh, they come together! Wow, it's almost Vettel and Verstappen all over again.
Yeah, X-Gamer doesn't really respect the space he's taking.
No. So that's X-Gamer down to 4th. We're on the last lap now. So it looks like Senna's got this one comfortably as long as he stays on track. X-Gamer comes back past Xander, going into Brooklands. All the time, Shadow just sitting there 1 second behind, 0.7 behind now. Another lap of these guys battling and Shadow could have been looking at a podium. I think it's just going to be a little bit too far off.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too little time left.
So Xander will now be looking to get X-Gamer on the DRS straight. I will flick back to Senna in a moment.
Oh, Xander went wide. Shadow was going for it.
Yep, so Shadow now on the outside of Xander. Xander on the softer tyres, and they're pulling X-Gamer in. He literally must be on his backside with ERS and fuel. Shadow gets a great move done on Xander around the outside. Now is he going to go for the inside? He's gone to the outside, which is a really strange move. We've missed Senna across the line, I do apologise. So Senna wins it, 6 of the best for Senna. Topics takes 2nd. Shadow comes home in 5th as Maggi gets the podium with no penalties. And X-Gamer takes 2nd. Well, I did say the penalties would change things around. As Luke takes the fastest lap, so that takes the point away from Senna. But we'll just flick back on board. Apologies to the guys wanting to see Senna across the line, but the battle we had on going there at the back, going into the last few corners, was worth the watch. Wow. Wasn't expecting that for 2nd and 3rd. Didn't realise Topics and the rest had so many penalties. However, look who's crept up into 6th place after being nowhere all race. Broomy.
Yeah, Broomy, right there.
Yeah, does it again.
He's like the real life Carlos Sainz. you don't see him for all the race, but he gets the points going.
He does. Okay, Sven, if you want to get inviting the top 3 into the chat, I'll go through the finishing orders here and then we'll have a quick chat with the guys. As the champagne is sprayed 6 times in a row for Senna. X-Gamer will be pleased to get back on the podium with a 2nd place, and I'm sure Maggi will be delighted. 2 podiums in a row, a 2nd and a 3rd. Not bad. The rest of the finishing order for GP4 Silverstone looks like this. So our top 3, Senna, X-Gamer, Maggi. Topics had 8 seconds of penalty, so he picked up a 5-second speed and penalty on that last pit stop. Shadow will be delighted to take 5th after a difficult qualifying and spinning and losing a bit of his wing at the start of the race. Broomy comes home in 6th, Pro Oliver 7th with Xander in 8th, so he dropped way back due to penalties. Romsey 9th, Peldaragas 10th, Sonic Hawk comes home in 11th with Luke in 12th. Energy Dan takes 13th. Gisolodi in 14th. Psychomich takes 15th with Racing Podge in 16th. And our DNFs there: Racing Podge, James Hook, DCG, Need for Speed, and ISRL Tommy. But a lot of penalties handed out amongst the drivers there, and it looks like we've got our top 3 in the chat already. We'll start obviously with Mr. 6 in a row. Senna, how was that one?
Hello. Yeah.
Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm fine as always. Yeah, I think it was closer to the end than I expected beforehand.
Yeah.
I think I had a better patch on the mediums, like I was pulling away.
Yep. Yeah, you
And
definitely
then
looked
the safety
more
car literally
comfortable.
came. Yeah, the safety car literally came at the wrong moment, at the right moment for X Gamer. And I think I was really lucky to be in front of both Red Bulls, because if I was behind Royalty and X Gamer, I think it would be another story today.
Yeah, so how many times is that now that a safety car has come out and everyone behind you has decided to just pit anyway, and
Too
the Delta
much.
has just given you that half a tenth or half a second or a second just to come out and maintain your position.
Yeah, it's
your
crazy.
battle with Topics at the end was quite interesting as well.
Yeah, we all know. I think he is a good racer. He can defend really hard, and I think that is what he did. Maybe a little bit too late on the brakes at the one moment.
Yeah,
But
we
I think
caught that
it was-
going into Brooklands. So
I didn't have any damage, or there was some contact, but I think it was quite fair at the end of it all.
yeah, so 6 wins in a row. Broomy came 6th, so the championship lead gets extended even further. We had the discussion on the podcast yesterday. What do you think happens going forwards? I'm going to ask the question that everyone wants to ask and wants to hear the answer to from you. So that's my job, I suppose, as a commentator.
GP3.
What do you
Yeah.
think? What do you think's going to happen? 6 in a row. Qualified on pole again. You had the fastest lap until Luke pinched it off you at the very end there as well.
Always Luke.
You're ticking all of the boxes every week. I suppose another question as well is, when does it get to a point where you look for a new challenge as well?
Well, just to be sure for everyone that's watching and for all the guys of GP4, I'm gonna stay this season in GP4. Then secure me there, so I'm not
Okay.
gonna be moving anywhere.
Fuck.
But
Please watch your language.
watch your language, Xander. Yeah, but I think yes, I won 6 times in a row, but it's not anymore. Just like I said last week, it's not like in Canada or in Spain or in Monaco anymore. I really have to fight for it very hard, because I was any faster than Potch in the beginning. He stayed around 1.2, 1.5. Yeah, I just tried everything to get away from him, but it was so difficult.
Yeah. Well, great race, and obviously, as much as it is a case of winning every week, the pressure mounts more every week when people expect
it
you
does.
to win. So, you keep a cool head. You done well in qualifying, a blistering lap with a 27.1 as well. I don't think we're going to see much difference in that sort of time from today to tomorrow. It'll then be GP2 and Prem where we really start to see the times drop. But a great race, 6 in a row, a bigger lead in the championship now. I would say probably 2 to 3 fingers of one hand on the trophy already.
Yeah, let's not say that too early. I still have my internet sometimes, and anything. Yeah, it's
and
still,
obviously
I
the
think we're
track's
halfway
coming up
now.
as well, second half of the season, so we've ticked off 10 races now. What are your thoughts on the second half?
There are a few tracks I don't like.
Yep.
Germany is one of them. But yeah, I think we're gonna see it. I like the last few tracks more, like
Yeah.
Mexico, USA.
Cool.
But I think we're gonna see it. I think I'm gonna put a lot of practice in, like I always do.
No, great.
And it should be alright then for me, I think.
Who knows? So what we'll have tomorrow is your usual, oh my god, I'm struggling here, it's rubbish, I can't do this track, I hate this track. And then come Monday
didn't say
night,
that.
we'll be having
Last
this
2
conversation ever again.
We're
but
gonna see
no.
it, but For once, I really don't expect it in Germany.
No, we'll see. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll flick over to X Gamer. We haven't really asked for a driver of the day on the chat, but I think where did you start? P13.
Yeah.
P13. So you moved yourself up 11 positions. A great drive. I suppose, driver of the day. You kept it clean. You got yourself a great finish on the podium after what can only be described as a terrible start to qualifying, dropping out, and then just not being able to put a lap together. How did you feel towards the end there?
First of all, I have so bad qualification. I was so angry that I started the race going to P8, but falling back in a few corners to P12. And then the safety car in lap 17. That was okay, but I want to win.
Yeah, I think having done a few practice sessions with you over the last week or so, you were feeling really confident here. But it's a little Belgian one too, not the same team, but well done, great race. I won't obviously ask too many questions because I know you say with your English is not the best. But how are you feeling for Germany?
Germany is a great track, but you can make many mistakes there.
Yeah, turn 1 is going to be fun. Yeah. I can't wait to listen to everyone through practice sessions saying a few fruitful words as they run wide or cut the curb too close on the inside as well. But well done, X Gamer, great race.
Thanks.
P2 back on the podium, and obviously getting more momentum in the championship as well. So we'll flick on to probably the biggest surprise for him after spinning in the race and a few incidents and so on, and the qualifying position. But G, 2 podiums in a row.
A bit unexpected, but I'll take it. No, I wasn't expecting that anything, to be fair, because this is, when I've always said I've got no pace. This was one track where I had no pace, none at all. I've not been able to nail qualifying at all, hence my such low position, but I had a decent start. I was able to get up there, had a bit of fight with Topics. It was basically code brown into turn 1. We literally touched side by side all the way through, which was a bit scary, but I mean, as soon as the safety car came out near the end, I was gonna go for it, but I knew Roimsey and obviously, like I say, Tom were both on the mediums. I couldn't catch him for love of money. Couldn't catch him.
No,
all.
But your start is what gave you this finishing position. That alongside no penalties, because I believe you kept it clean.
Yeah.
For the entire race.
I did have a penalty, and it was about a couple of laps before I was due to go for my first pit stop anyway. I can't remember who on earth was behind me. I think X Game was behind me, and I just got Maggots and Beckett's all wrong, lost the back end. I was in mid-spin and unfortunately collected Broomy as well at the same time, and it gave me a 5-second penalty even though I was sideways. Work that one out. But I took my 5-second penalty on my pit stop, and I just kept it clean all the way through it.
Right, okay, so your penalty was a pit stop penalty.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But I think Psychomich and Bucky had a bit of an incident on the last corner. I actually slammed my anchors on that to weave in between them because they were both sideways. Otherwise, I would have T-boned someone. But
yeah, we caught that on the stream from Hooky. Looks like he just clipped the back of Psychomich and caused them both to have a little spin. But kind of kept your nose clean through it, as you say, weaved through it. And as you say, coming over the line, the penalties that the others had jumped you up to P3. So proof in the pudding, really, that one penalty maybe, but obviously you'd served that in the pits anyway. But to keep it clean and have no 3-second penalties to slam on your time at the end of the race, it just shows what it can do for people.
I was trying to catch Tom at the end because I knew we had a penalty. Good old Jeff finally gave me information, but I didn't have it on anyone else. Yeah. So jumping up to third, I was like, "Oh, hello, I'll take that." Yeah. But no, I mean, bit surprising I got it. I'm still a bit in a shock, but second podium in a row, and roll on next week where I actually made my debut last season, which I got pole.
Okay, well, good. So fingers crossed, a good result next week. But who knows? It could be like the actual Formula 1 race last year, and we could have an absolute mixture of weather and who knows. Sven, any questions for the top 3?
Man, I
Wait.
think
Now he's gonna say he doesn't have a question, but if we're gonna end it, he's gonna say he has 3 more questions.
Yeah, basically.
Sven, not that guy.
But
Sven,
this time
not
I
nonsense.
actually don't think I have any questions. You quite asked anything I could ever think of.
Okay. Am I okay to carry on at that point then?
Yeah, I think so. I will have some questions for Senna next week anyway, so...
Yeah, sure. Like, where were you? Because you said you weren't very good here, and normally you finish first when you say that, but I'm really looking forward to Germany. It's going to be an interesting one. I was looking forward to tonight, and honestly, the stream was fantastic. I was fortunate enough to flick on at certain points that others will think I was unfortunate. I definitely will probably have a red ear from the Williams drivers, because each time I turned onto one of them, they decided to give me a little pirouette. Yeah, probably not the best of friends at the moment. So maybe next week we'll keep the stream off them as much as possible. But we go on to Germany. Everyone's sort of given their thoughts on it. It is going to be a tough track. Turn 1 is going to be make or break in terms of penalties throughout the race, but also overtaken, because you've obviously got a little bit of DRS just before that. But yeah, that's you guys done. I would imagine there was some great relief when you saw it was dry and no rain whatsoever, but who knows what Germany will bring. Other than that, that is us done for another week of GP4. As the hashtag says on the race, obviously with the current goings on in the world, stay home, stay safe, keep talking to one another through social media. We've got a great group here at SFR who are always chatting on Discord, maybe losing their marbles a little bit from being locked in their house and everything as well. But yeah, I mean, I can imagine it will happen to anyone at some point. So
Yeah, it will.
we just want to say, obviously, to here in Britain, thank you to the guys in the NHS, and the support from those running the blue and white helmets tonight was a real nice touch. And I'm sure we'll be doing the same through GP3 tomorrow. I definitely will be, with 2 and Prem as well. I am back tomorrow night. I'll be racing. Senna is back tomorrow night with comms, and you'll be joined by Chain Game again?
Yes, mate.
Brilliant. Fantastic commentary team. Almost as good as myself and Sven, but you know, you're getting there. So you take the wins on track. You take the wins on track. I'll take the commentary. Let me have something.
That's a good deal.
So thank you ever so much, guys. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe, hit the bell to get the notifications when we go live every Monday to Thursday from 7:30. We will be here with GP4, 3, 2 and Prem. Tomorrow night, as I said, it's me and GP3, and then on Tuesday night you can tune in and watch Sven in the Ferrari in GP2. And then if you're still about on Thursday night, which I'm sure everyone is at the moment, yeah, the Prem guys will be here as well. But thanks ever so much for watching, guys in the chat. Thanks for joining in and giving us some insight into the race and obviously some predictions. Thank you to you guys for a great race and finishing in the top 3. And Sven, as ever, thank you for joining me for comms. It's always a pleasure. We will see you next week for GP4 and tomorrow night for GP3. Take care, guys.